your numbers, your profit and loss, or your financial statement is truly the scorecard. It is the mirror of your human behaviors in business.
Right.
Educate your money now.
Hello, and welcome to Educating Your Money podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Curry-Case, owner of Matt Nick Bookkeeping Services. This podcast is geared towards small business owners and self-employed individuals who have topics or questions they'd like to discuss. Make sure you share with other people and business owners who may find value in this podcast. Today's episode is called Financial Numbers Are Our Friends. We will be discussing how important it is for small businesses to conduct some accounting analysis and know their numbers. Post any comments and questions you may have or email them, and we'll try and answer all the questions that we can. Today's guest is Dawn Young Cruz. Dawn is the founder of Team DYC Business Services, a boutique accounting and consulting company that provides full accounting services, payroll, administrative support, and strategic coaching. Dawn is originally from Southern California, now based in Las Vegas, and serves clients locally and throughout the United States. While her family lives in California, she has created a large, extended, chosen family here in Las Vegas, where she loves spending time dancing, attending live music events, and traveling. Dawn attended Cal State Fullerton and received her BS in Child and Adolescent Studies with a minor in Business Administration in 2004. In 2015 through 2016, Dawn completed and earned her Certified Trainer of NLP Neuro Logistics Programming and is a Master NLP Coach. Dawn loves working with business professionals while guiding and problem solving for growth, expansion, and systemization. She has true personal passion for helping others succeed in their journeys and enjoys creating win-win situations. Hello, Dawn, and thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, Kristen. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's a topic that I think a lot of small business owners probably need to have and are afraid to have. So many small business owners are probably a little afraid of their numbers. I would imagine it's because numbers don't lie. They probably don't want to know the truth, as well as wanting to know the truth at the same time. But their financial numbers tell a story, and that's something that they probably should realize, and that they can also be extremely helpful in determining the health as well as the lack of health in their business. So, Dawn, we have questions from our audience that we'd like to ask in regards to this subject.
Perfect.
So, what is the first step a business owner should take in order to perform the best analysis of their financial numbers?
So the first step really is knowing that you need to take the step and make an analysis and have a consistent analysis in your business. But the first real action step is making sure that your numbers or your business financials are all housed in one software system. Those software systems have reporting capabilities that are intricate in being able to take the data. I have a lot of individuals say, I can do it in Excel or that. And that's great. However, the softwares are really designed to help you with this analysis, and we can create that.
And granted, you can probably gather some information from something like Excel, but there's probably a lot of human error in that, as
Very
well
much.
as not even knowing what to do with those numbers once they're in an Excel spreadsheet.
Absolutely.
That a software could probably help
The
with.
software has one of the biggest softwares that I utilize. It's across the world with QuickBooks Online accounting, and that has already preset databases or reports that I can utilize as a professional in really helping an individual analyze their business. And they're two very simple reports: your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet. but how are you utilizing those systems? And that's where the next step really comes. But you have to have all the data in the software.
Right. Yeah. So when a small business owner is searching for accounting software, what are some questions that they should ask themselves or should be asking in order to find the right accounting software for them?
Absolutely. So the first question is the software, is it going to be giving them the data depending on the size of their business? If they're a small to medium-sized business, 90% of the softwares are great. There are, in the larger companies or things that need to be a little more detailed, there's other softwares that, but the first biggest thing is if it's cloud-based. We need to be able to be mobile. Our businesses, 90% are mobile, or the professionals are mobile. And working with resources across the nation, like myself, I have clients all over the U.S., and being able to assist them remotely because they trust me or have come referred, that software cloud system is huge.
Now, are there professionals out there that, because I would imagine, small business owners sometimes, especially if they're not even keeping track or have a software, they probably don't even know what they need to do. Are there professionals out there that could help them make some of those decisions in finding the software?
Absolutely. And if they're going to do it themselves, you also should have a trusted advisor, whether it's a CPA, a tax professional, a bookkeeper, a strategist. I jokingly say I'm the concierge to book services. That I blend that coaching side. So even a business coach can help you in creating that software so that the systems and the data or the analysis that you get from your data can help you in the growth.
Good. What can the financial analysis of a small business help them show, or what would it do, or what can it do, I guess?
So one of the biggest things with the financial analysis is we've talked about in your numbers, your profit and loss or your financial statement is truly the scorecard. It is the mirror of your human behaviors in business.
Right.
One of the biggest things that I have found in the industry is most people just kind of wing it. They look at their bank account and they don't know where money's coming in, where it's going, and they're just preparing for taxes.
Right, yeah.
And what your analysis can help you with is where there's bleeds or making crucial decisions. And sometimes we don't want to know those facts.
Yeah. I can imagine that probably is a big thing. Probably one of the main challenges I would imagine that small businesses have is just knowing the unknown.
It's knowing the unknown. We start business and we're great at our trade and our passion, but we're horrible at running a business.
Yeah.
And the financial statements and the financial analysis and knowing your numbers. I have a hashtag, numbers are friends. And that way it truly is people, I want to embrace people that numbers aren't scary.
Right.
And it's okay because we can make the adjustments that we need, but you have to have the numbers to know what to do.
Right. That's so true. What are some red flags that might alert a small business owner that they may need to dig a little deeper into what the numbers are trying to tell them?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things is where you may be overspending. There may be bleeds. Another is your cost of goods if you're a goods services or even your professional services. Are you allocating into your income or your sales the cost of running your business?
Right.
And that can be answered very easily. I had an individual that had a professional service office here in Las Vegas and thought, it's about $25,000. Well, you can't make decisions on about.
Yes.
And
as much as they probably would like to.
They would like to. However, that $25,000 was an actual $45,000
Wow. It's a huge difference.
Annual. And $20,000 is a huge amount when you think of one thing in the actual. I have a quote, or within my NLP training, perception is reality. In our brains, we don't know the difference between fantasy and reality. And when we keep telling ourselves this is how much it's costing, when it really, you don't know the difference.
So, speaking on that, so can a small business almost trick their mind can trick themselves into thinking?
It's very much into one thing that we can say with the analysis of a red flag. I'm busy. I'm constantly busy, but my sales aren't coming in. Well, what are we busy at? Are we busy producing, or are we busy doing fun stuff?
Right.
That we call business time. And that was where we can trick our brain into thinking we're busy.
Right.
Same thing with our financials. It costs this amount.
Right.
But your financial numbers is the black and white.
So, and not to beat
No.
this one, but yeah,
it's a big part.
Yeah. So, when can a small business owner think of themselves as being busy, and they may very well be extremely busy. It may not even be them trying to, joke around, or they're
Absolutely.
really doing business, but they may not be doing the right business. They may not be working busy on the right items, which is where the numbers could probably be able to help figure out where you're putting your time or not putting your time, and tricking yourself into thinking that you're really working on and working in your business.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things is hiring a professional in your financials. That's something when you're in your business, you need an outside eyes looking at the numbers. And doing the accounting and reconciliations of bookkeeping is a huge daunting task sometimes.
Right.
That can be offset. And for professional services, I work with a lot of private practice attorneys. They're charging at $400 to $500 an hour.
Yeah.
They need to do that they do, not working on their numbers.
Yeah.
And so that's where I have found the blend of they're able to produce more and they're not busy, which then in turn we're able to cover the cost
Right.
of hiring a professional, outsourcing, and things like that. And that's one of the side effects of knowing where your numbers are, so you can scale to grow by then outsourcing and know where you can.
Right. And I would imagine, and that's where you'll see, or a small business owner would see where it was worth it hiring outside professionals that know accounting and finances.
And that's just one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Social media. There's so many different tasks. My business coach always said, work your strengths, hire your weaknesses. Doesn't mean that a weakness, it's a weakness.
Right.
It's just, is it a best use of your time?
Yeah.
Your time has a value to it, a dollar amount. And sometimes it costs you more doing it yourself, which then keeps you in this cycle of, am I making money? Am I losing money? And you're in this vicious cycle.
And I don't know if you've done this with any of your clients. Have you, especially when they're just starting out trying to figure out their financial numbers, have you ever tried to almost have them put a number to their worth, to their hour, like almost giving themselves, what do you think your time is worth, and then being able to determine like how expensive it is for them to do something or not do something, because
It's exactly what I do.
Great.
My realtors, my professional services, that's a lot what I do. The same thing is with my direct sales and small business owners. So I have the gamut that I work with. You have to put your hourly rate of what it costs you. It may not physically cost you, but your time is worth something.
Definitely. Thank you so much. That was such great information. How can financial numbers help a business owner make some of the bigger decisions? We talked about some of the decisions that can make. What are some of the bigger decisions that it can help them make?
One of the biggest, if it's a brick and mortar, it may be looking at building a second location. I have a chiropractic office that we're working through the numbers right now because they'd like to open a second location. And being able to scale, what is the bare minimum? What is it? What are the hard costs to run the office? And can we scale that to grow?
Right.
Another big decision is bringing on staff. That was a big thing. I mean, in my own personal business, I just did a full analysis of 2019, and I tripled my business last year.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
I knew I had to bring on staff, and
Right.
so that was one of the, okay, how am I going to pay for this, and also know that it's going to help me in the growth.
Right, definitely. What are some of the downfalls for a small business owner not knowing their financial numbers?
The bleeds. One of the biggest things is if you do not have a pulse on your business or just run your business numbers for tax purposes, because you have to,
Right.
or waiting till the end of the year, we're right now in that season,
Tax season.
tax season, we can't make any changes.
Right.
You can't change anything if you don't know where the numbers are.
Right.
And in this state of the world, we have to be proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah.
And I had an individual last year that she did not listen to me, and resulted in an additional $30,000 in tax liabilities for income that we could have worked in different ways.
Right.
And if she would have listened,
Right.
and it was being more proactive.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Can a small business owner find some good in the information that they get from their numbers?
Absolutely. The great is what is working.
Okay.
You know, you can celebrate the wins. I just had one of my family law attorneys, and she has set a goal out last year in 2018, because I always work with my clients on what are their goals. And when we did her end of year, I asked her what was the goal last year, and she's like, I wanted to raise or grow by 100,000. Well, when I sent her the message that said you grew by 109,000, she was able to know that consistently.
Right.
She knew her numbers going in, she knew what was going on, and was able to very easily say what was working and what wasn't.
Right. And that was something that I would imagine you did throughout the year. You kind of twisted and turned things, or you were able to at least give her direction on like where the numbers were going. And then she was able to make the twist and turn she needed throughout the year in order to exceed her goal.
Exceed the goal. And knowing year over year, a software system definitely can give you those numbers, and you can compare year over year, month over month, season over season, and be able to celebrate the wins and what is working. I had another professional. She was calling me in September, and she's like, my phone's not ringing. I don't know what's going on. And I said, remember, you were on vacation for half the month of July. When I say it's the scorecard of your behaviors, she travels for a week for a conference in June every year and takes 2 weeks of family vacation in July. What you do now results 60 days to 90 days later.
Right.
The minute I said this happened last year, showed her her numbers again, and she goes, oh, that's right. Literally the following week, I said, you'll see the pattern start ringing. And that's what happened.
Okay.
So being able to have those reports, sometimes I have to remind my professionals, they forget, but I'm very easily able to show them the picture black and white. We went through this, we can prepare for it.
Right. And then I would imagine also you're able to, the numbers could also show them, like you said, to change their behavior. The example you used with a business owner going on vacation, maybe the following year, the habit or the change in behavior would be maybe to spread that out a little bit, or maybe not to have them so close together, so then you don't have a longer gap.
And that's it. Or just understanding that this is going to come, so we ramp up at the beginning of the time.
Right.
So then in your marketing efforts, with the analysis, you really get to see it's not just the money in, money out.
Right.
You really get to see your sales processes,
Right.
your operations processes, and your marketing efforts. The accounting is like the legs of a tripod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where each leg is those three areas.
Right, and you need all three for
You
it
need
to
all
stand,
three
right?
to stand, but you also have the accounting system and the
Right.
software
That holds
to hold it all
Yeah,
together.
that's so true. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That was a lot of information that I think is really important for small business owners to know, and also as well as to kind of get out in the open, so that they kind of keep the numbers behind them and think that they're just gonna just kind of wash out in the end, or something's gonna happen. It's gonna be a big
Something's gonna happen.
Right. So I think that was very good information. I think that that the information you shared will definitely maybe spark some ideas and some things in small business owners that are listening.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dawn is offering a free consultation and a document called Ask Your Numbers Accounting Analysis for our audience, analysis questions for our audience if they are interested. So if you are interested, please post below or email #mynumbers. And if you're interested, we will definitely send it to you. Get your contact information and send it to you. So Dawn, can you tell us a little bit about this document?
So this document is what I ask is, do you know your numbers? And these are a lot of the questions that you should be able, as a business owner, what is your hard cost? How much does it cost to run your business? What is your income for last year, this year, on a monthly basis and seasonality? And these are just some of the questions that you need to know to be able to answer. And so I just wanted to be able to spark those questions, whether it's myself or another professional, that we can get real. Because like we talked about, you have to make the shifts.
Yeah.
And nothing changes if nothing changes. One of my favorite quotes. And so the first question is you have to look at, what is it that I need to know the answer to, and can I answer that?
Right.
And so that's
Yeah.
what the tool that I shared today.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I would like to thank Dawn for taking time out of her busy schedule and coming on the show and sharing her expertise. Thank you so much. It was such great information. Be sure to post any comments or questions that you have below, or email them. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're listening from, and what business you have or would like to have. Also, if you're interested in receiving a free consultation with Dawn, or would like to have the Ask Your Numbers Accounting Analysis Questions document, be sure to post #mynumbers below or email #mynumbers. Dawn, if any of our viewers or listeners had any questions or wanted to talk to you or reach out to you, how can they get a hold of you?
So the easiest way to get a hold of me is I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
My business page, Team DYC Business Services. Or you can always email me at dawn@teamdyc.com. It's a little tongue twister sometimes.
And
So-
do you have a number?
Yeah, my phone number, my direct line is area code 626-274-9000. It's also on the social media site. You can get there, or my website, teamdyc.com, where we're your team behind the scenes.
Educate